Imagine this, the roads you see every day, completely empty, not a single car moving. Long queues stretching for kilometers in front of gas stations, massive factories shutting down, the entire world coming to a sudden standstill. This is not something from the future. This actually happened in 1973, during a massive energy crisis. At that time, all the Arab countries came together and stopped exporting crude oil, the very petroleum we depend on, to the United States and other Western nations. Until then, the world had taken crude oil lightly, but that day everyone truly understood its power. It was a moment so intense that even a superpower like America felt its economy could collapse. From that point on, the world began calling crude oil black gold. The truth is, today, this black gold holds more value than real gold itself, because without it, modern life simply stops. But where did this crude oil even come from? How did something that once couldn't even be used for basic lighting rise to a position where it now controls the entire world? Today, let's break this down step by step in full detail, without missing a single moment. If you listen without skipping, it will feel like a journey through time. First of all, if you think oil is something only modern humans discovered, then we are completely mistaken. Humans have known about oil since ancient times. In ancient Egypt, crude oil was used to preserve mummies and prevent them from decaying. Native Americans used this raw oil as an ointment, applying it to wounds, believing it helped injuries heal faster. Here's something even more fascinating. Around 347 AD, the Chinese drilled wells as deep as 240 meters in search of oil. At a time when modern drilling machines didn't exist, they used bamboo sticks connected like pipes to dig deep into the earth. Why did they use oil? Not for fuel, but to produce salt. They used it as a burning source to heat seawater and extract salt. Later, in the 7th century, Japan referred to this oil as burning water. In the 12th century, the traveler Marco Polo witnessed oil near the Caspian Sea in a region called Batu. But at that time, no one realized the true potential of this resource. Time passed. Even by the 15th century, people hadn't figured out that oil could be used for lighting lamps. Just imagine, once the sun set, the entire world would sink into darkness. No one stepped outside their homes at night. If someone urgently needed light, do you know what they did? In countries like America, Scotland, and Ireland, people hunted salmon fish and birds like petrels, dried them, and burned the fat inside their bodies as candles. Thousands of animals were sacrificed just to produce a little light. By the 1700s, a new solution emerged: the whale oil industry. Massive whales were hunted and oil extracted to light lamps. This business became so successful that it ranked among the top 5 industries in America at the time. American ships roamed the oceans hunting whales relentlessly, pushing them to the brink of extinction. Then came a turning point. In 1846, a Canadian geoscientist named Abraham Gesner made a breakthrough. From materials like coal, oil shale, and bitumen, he refined a new type of oil, kerosene. This discovery changed everything. Kerosene was far cheaper, about 15 times cheaper than whale oil. The world finally began to emerge from darkness. Streetlights started glowing at night, and people could walk freely without fear. Before refrigerators existed, salt was essential for preserving food, which made it extremely valuable. Since seawater salt wasn't enough, Americans began mining salt from underground, called rock salt. While mining, workers encountered a strange black liquid, oil. Its smell was unbearable, making it a nuisance for mining companies. They would often dispose of it into nearby rivers, but people noticed something unusual. This liquid floated on water and caught fire easily. Some began selling it as medicine, inspired by Native Americans who used it as ointment. One such buyer was a college professor. His student, George Bissell, observed this oil and realized its burning properties. He believed it could be turned into a business. Along with partners including investor James Townsend, he had the oil tested by Yale chemist Benjamin Silliman Jr. The result confirmed that valuable products could be extracted through distillation. Soon after, Townsend founded the Pennsylvania Rock Oil Company. But extracting oil wasn't easy. They assigned the drilling task to Edwin Drake, a simple railroad worker with a deep interest in oil. With a modest salary and the help of a blacksmith named William Smith, Drake began drilling in Titusville, Pennsylvania. Months passed, no oil, only groundwater filled the pits. Funds dried up. People mocked him, even calling him Crazy Drake, but he refused to give up. By inserting iron pipes to block groundwater, he continued drilling. Finally, on August 27, 1859, At a depth of 69.5 feet, they struck oil for the first time. That single moment changed American history forever. News spread rapidly. Oil wells sprang up across Pennsylvania, and the region was renamed Oil City. Production skyrocketed from 4,500 barrels a day to 3 million within 4 years. Soon, oil was discovered in Texas and California, making America the world's largest oil producer. A new industrial revolution had begun. But would the rest of the world stay silent? European nations, especially Britain, began searching for oil globally. In the early 20th century, their attention turned to the Middle East. A British geologist spent 10 years searching in Iran, and in 1908, oil was finally discovered. The British quickly took control, forming the Anglo-Persian Oil Company and dominating Iran's oil. While Iran had the resources, the profits went to Britain. After decades of exploitation, Iran nationalized its oil industry in 1951 and expelled the British. This marked a major turning point in Middle Eastern geopolitics. Meanwhile, Saudi Arabia, once one of the poorest nations, surviving on dates and camel milk, underwent a transformation. In 1938, an American company called Saudi Aramco discovered oil in Dammam. Oil gushed like rivers. That single discovery turned Saudi Arabia into one of the richest countries in the world. As more countries started producing oil, supply surged and prices began to fall. To control this, 5 countries, Venezuela, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Iran, and Iraq, formed OPEC in 1960. This organization began controlling global oil supply and prices. Its power became evident in 1973. During the war involving Israel, Western countries supported Israel. In response, Arab OPEC nations imposed an oil embargo. Prices skyrocketed, from a few dollars to $12 per barrel. Even the US faced recession. Large American cars disappeared, replaced by smaller, fuel-efficient vehicles. Another crisis followed in 1979 during the Iran Revolution and Iran-Iraq War. Oil prices surged again, reaching $32 per barrel by 1981. Historically, oil prices kept rising until something unprecedented happened in 2020. For the first time ever, oil prices went negative, dropping to minus $37 per barrel. The reason? The COVID-19 pandemic. Lockdowns halted global activity. Planes, trains, cars, all stopped. Demand dropped to zero, but production continued and storage ran out. Oil sellers were literally paying buyers to take oil away. People often believe America's involvement in Middle East conflicts is purely for oil, but the reality is deeper. Oil is traded globally in US dollars. This keeps the dollar strong and strengthens the American economy. If Middle Eastern countries start trading oil in other currencies, the dollar's value could fall, impacting the US economy. Since global economic control is tied to oil, and oil flows from the Middle East, controlling this region means influencing the world economy. That is why America has been involved in multiple wars in the Middle East, and continues to be. From killing whales for oil in the past to controlling global oil politics today, the story of oil is both powerful and ruthless. So, this is the history behind the discovery of oil. If this blew your mind, hit like, and tell me, should oil still control the world, or is it time we move beyond it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.